In today's video, we're going to take your backhand looking from this to this. Let's get right into it. Enjoy the video. I'm going to give you some tips to improve, and then I'm going to be able to let you know what things to avoid and how you can practice by yourself. Tip number 1 is going to be the proper grip. As we see here, this is going to be a semi-western grip, and this is what we're going to be using.
Tip number 2 is going to be opening up with the left hand behind us, nice backswing, and bringing it forward with the right. So this exercise you're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, right? You can connect. The reason you don't want to do it with the right hand is because it gives you no range of motion, right? You can go with the left as far as back as you want. You can see it, all the pros do it. They go back all the way with a uniturn. 1, boom, and they release it.
Tip number 3.
You want to allow the ball to start dropping. After the ball has bounced and is elevated in the highest point, you want to allow the ball to start dropping. So as you're getting underneath, you go down and you lift. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to create the depth that you desire. So make sure you allow the ball to drop, start falling a little bit, so you can go against the grain and brush the ball nice and heavy. If the ball is bouncing and is still ascending, it's going to be a little bit difficult to add it. It's possible, but it's going to be a little bit more harder for you to do it.
Tip number 4.
Is going to be the 45-degree angle. You don't want to be able to go too linear. You don't want to be able to go too vertical. You're going to go a little bit 45 degree. So if I go on that side, it's going to be maybe a little bit better for me to see. Imagine I'm playing there, down, and it goes here. And as we see with the semi-western, the face of the racket is always close, 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 and it's allowing that to proceed to go forward.
Tip number 5. Make sure you stick until the end.
The acceleration of your arm. If you try to achieve depth and power and consistency, you want to allow yourself to accelerate. If you accelerate and you allow the freedom of the arm to take in control, then you'll be able to create power and depth. You maybe miss more out, but once you hone it down, it's going to look nice and amazing. One more tip I have. What we want to feel like is when we release the racket, we want to feel like the weight of the racket is accumulating on the tip of the racket. So let's imagine this. If I go and I have the right hand over here and I'm looking at the ball and I'm having the ball, I want to be able to load, and the point of release, when I'm allowing to release the ball, this is when the point of impact with my racket should happen. So if I'm here, 1, and the point of release right in front of me, loading, creating that transfer forward, and the point of release should be nice and in front. Same if I have a bottle of water, right, and it's half, I want to be able to release, and the weight of the water is going to stay there in the end.
2 things to avoid.
One thing we don't want to be doing when we're practicing this is getting extremely tight on the arm, right? If you're feeling a lot of tension, that you're holding the racket really tight, it's not going to be able to feel well, and you're not going to be able to connect very well. It needs to be more loose. Loosen up, loosen up. Feel like you're holding the racket on the tip. You don't want to be moving a lot when you're trying to practice this, because you might be in the wrong spot in the wrong times. You want to go and just start here like this. 1, 2. You don't want to move a lot and get adjusting your feet, because then your timing is going to be off and you get confused and all the bad things start to happen there.
How to practice by yourself. I like to feed like that the ball, so I'm able to get the ball with a nice backspin, and I'm able to get underneath and practice my feeling of the ball. You can also try to do some visualization over there with your shadow strokes and try to really think where you're playing and what you're doing. You want to also try to move to other locations, and you want to adjust nicely with your feet. In this section now, I wanted to show you how to properly play in the wall and how to think in terms of progressions. What can you practice exactly? Some little tips over there, and how would it look if we applied everything that we said in today's lesson.
So essentially, we want to allow the ball to drop. As we see, I'm allowing the ball to start descending, because like this, I can brush it up and create that height and the depth. 1, is allowing to drop. 2, 3, and I'm going 45 degrees up. Now, as we will see now, the slower my acceleration goes, the slower my ball will go. So if you want to create the depth, besides having good height, you're going to start to whip it. Right? And that creates that capacity for power. Semi-western grip, as we said, right? And you want to start slow. Maybe you want to be doing this. You want to come here close to the lines, and you're going to go one. Without a lot of movement, you're allowing the ball to drop. You don't even following through a lot. You're just sitting, down to up, not even any backswing significant. Then later on, you can go back and soften up the acceleration, the wrist. Try to be not too tight. Try to be like a 4 out of 10. 10 being the hardest possible. 1 being barely holding it. Right? Find a nice rhythm. You can aim at the wall, in a little point in the wall. Then you can go back and try to control it. Very important tip is also for me to put my right leg, because if I'm like this, right, if I'm like this, it's very hard to play. I'm gonna put my right leg forward and transfer my body weight. I wanna get a nice rhythm first. I wanna set my right leg together, forward, nice. Even if the ball bounces twice, as you're learning it, you don't need to do anything fancy. Just try to play on the higher part of the wall, and then you're gonna try to add a little bit more power and footwork. You wanna find the coordination. As you see, I'm trying to find the ball really in front of myself. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I adjust, I look relaxed, almost lazy, and I don't put intentionally any effort. Try to go up too. If you want to create depth, you don't want to stay like this. You know, a lot of coaches say that, and it's okay for sometimes, but I want you to allow the body to get down and lift together towards deep ball. Down, 2. You're allowing the ball to mature, you're hitting it high. So, let me see. Down, that's a nice backhand. That's a nice here. So the whole point of this lesson is for you to not try a lot. When you have everything mechanical, it's going to be difficult for you.
So that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would love to hear your comments down below in the section. And let me know what other things bother you so I can make a detailed explanation in the next videos. Thank you so much.